All right, so I know you guys are already saying they lost to the Steelers last week. The Colts aren't underrated. They just lost to the Steelers. Well, about that. Their starting quarterback went out in Jacoby Brissett. Ryan Kelly, their starting center, also went out in that same exact game. Last time I checked, your starting quarterback and your starting center are about two most valuable pieces to your offense anybody can have. Last time I checked, at least. Also, their starting wide receiver 1 and their starting wide receiver 2 are out, and T.Y. Hilton and Devin Funchess. Of course, the Colts haven't seen much of Devin Funchess yet this year, but he was still supposed to be the wide receiver number 2. Their quarterback 1 was out in Pierre Desir, and I hate to say it, but he's definitely one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the NFL. Not really a question about it. He might be the most underrated cornerback. He literally locks down on most wide receivers. He locked down DeAndre Hopkins last year. Also, defensive tackle 2 is out. And Tyquan Lewis, he's very solid when he's healthy. Helps hold up that defensive line. And creates more gaps for edge rushers like Justin Houston. And like Jamal Sheard. And also Camille Couture when he's healthy. And of course, Denico Autry right next to him. That helps him free up some. Or at least one of those two players, someone's getting double teamed on that defensive line, but 3 of those players can take on a single team or solo player and beat them most of the time. Second off, they're 5-3. 5-3 is a really good record. They have wins against the Chiefs and Texans. Those are some very quality wins. Also beat the Titans, Falcons, and Broncos. Not as much quality wins, but they're somewhat solid teams. Not the Falcons. They, for some reason, fell off. But they lost to the Steelers. I explained that one. The Raiders are proving out to be decent, at least. I don't know what happened in that game, really. It was a disappointment game. And the Chargers, the NFL actually apologized to the Colts, which on the field goal where they threw a flag, it shouldn't have been a flag. Would have saved us a touchdown and saved us 4 points. But instead, we lost by 2 or 3 or something like that. And that was the game difference. So far, the Indianapolis Colts have 1,817 yards of total passing and 17 touchdowns, while also having 4 interceptions. And their opponent has 1,974 yards. They have more yards, but 5 less touchdowns and 1 more interceptions. That would be 12 touchdowns and 5 interceptions for those of you who can't count. Also, Indianapolis Colts have 1,038 yards of rushing and 4 touchdowns, while their opponents have 869 yards of rushing and 5 touchdowns against them. So, basically, it lines up pretty damn equally, except the Colts are a little bit better. So, 500-ish. But the problem is the kicking. I'm pretty sure everyone knew this. Their kicking's part of their problem. Probably would be undefeated if it was for the kicking. Actually, we still would have lost to the Raiders. But our kicking this year is 12 for 17 on field goals and 14 for 19 on PATs. It's been a lot better after week 2, though. Only missing 1 PAT since week 2 and about 3 field goals, which I say that's pretty damn good. But the opponents is 15 for 16 on field goals and 18 for 18 on PATs. And that's the main problem. Also, 28 punts for both our opponents and for ourselves at 1,250 yards each. So, punting's equal. But anyways, Colts should be 7-1. Quite a matter of fact. Maybe we say 6-2. They did lose to the Steelers. I'll accept that one. Chargers win. Chargers should have been a win. NFL's even kind of admitted it. Of course, the game would have gone different, but NFL kind of admitted it, that they messed up on the call. Raiders, I'll accept that loss. I already said that. That's the one loss I'm counting. Steelers probably would have beaten with Ryan Kelly or Jacoby Brissett. One of those two. That probably would have been a win. Of course, the backup for both of them did all right, but they ain't no Ryan Kelly. They ain't no Jacoby Brissett. This team's very underrated. Everybody underrates them. So let's go through the rankings of everybody's rankings this week for the Indianapolis Colts. As Sports Illustrated actually had a very respectable ranking, as they put us at 10th, right behind the Texans, which I think is fine for now. We aren't the division leaders. They are, even though we beat them. Oh well. Once we beat the Dolphins, we should be ahead of them. That's what I got to say about that. Plus, we play them in 2 weeks. And once we beat them again in Houston, I imagine we'll be ranked over them for quite a while. ESPN had us at 12th. As I said, I can be okay with this one. I don't think it's where we should be. Should be at least top 11, like USA Today has us at 11th. I'd say we're top 10. But two laughable ones are NFL and Yahoo. NFL had us at 14th, which was quite funny. I did not. This is what I mean by underrated. Yahoo had us at 15th. Most of the people at NFL and Yahoo just aren't the brightest, to say the least. Yahoo had the Panthers, Eagles, the Cowboys in front of us, and the Bills. Neither of those 4 teams are better than us. And I think NFL had the Bills, the Cowboys. It was either Eagles or Panthers in front of us, which, once again, none of those teams are better than us. I will say that every single time. Remember when the Colts played the Cowboys last year? Yeah, they kind of shut their offense down, if I remember correctly. It was a shutout. Their defense, Colts defense only gotten better. Cowboys offense gotten better-ish. You guys can make your own opinions on that, but that's what I gotta say about that. Also, Bleacher Report put us at 12th, which, oh well, I can deal with it. But I guess I'd rather be underrated than overrated, like a lot of these teams, like the Cowboys are. Cowboys just don't have a good schedule and a good conference. They will get absolutely blown out in the playoffs, especially if they show up playing like they did against the Giants last night, at least in that first half. If they played like, let's say, the Ravens in that first half, or even the Colts, they wouldn't have had a chance to come back in the second half because they would have been facing someone with an actual decent team. Or like, I don't even think they came back against the Eagles last night the way they played in that first half, because the Eagles still have a decent defense. But anyways, Colts are underrated. I think I proved my point. Leave your guys' thoughts down below. Also, if you guys have a suggestion for another sports video, I'd like to hear that down below as well. Your suggestion may just be one of these videos one of these days. And of course, thanks for watching. Make sure to click those links down below: Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And of course, just make sure to keep the sports leaf flowing throughout the day.